Jones Mangina.
Is there? Sorry, real quick. What's the Signature Realty site? You want me to give that out also?
I'm on Michelle. Are you going to do it at the end?
Both. Is it just
Yeah, you
signaturerealty.com?
Michelle Pice Group. She would appreciate that.
Okay.
At Signature Realty NJ. The NJ is important. I think there's another.
Michelle Pice Group.
You guys just had a big company party, right?
Yeah.
I saw that all over Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
NJ.
Had a good time.
All right,
I'm
cool.
still hungover from it.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks ago.
All right, sweet. Cool. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the MulletCast, the podcast where business and pleasure collide. My name is Evan Balmer.
What's going on? It's Mike Mercia.
What's happening, Mike?
Same old.
Sweet. Today we are joined by Jordan Horowitz. Jordan is a full-time realtor and wholesaler. He is the founder of BuddiesBuyingHouses.com and the Mason Tally Group. Check out Mason Tally Group at, I'll spell it out for you here, MaisonTally group.com, and also part of the Michelle Pice Group at Signature Realty NJ. We'll give out some other handles later.
Cool.
What's going on, Jordan?
What's cooking?
Not much, not much.
How are
Excited
you?
to be here. Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm good.
So we've had a lot of realtor guests, and kind of like you, many fall into real estate. Not everyone comes like from school, gets into real estate. You sort
Yeah.
of fell into it after a career in advertising and media.
Yeah.
What were you doing in that?
Oh,
That
man.
world.
Yeah, so I spent the majority of my career up until 5 months ago. Media ad sales, digital ad sales in New York City.
Right.
Working for some of the biggest media companies out there, and hating every minute of it.
Were you?
Yeah, I mean it was good. It was right out of college. I kind of fell into it. Sales was good to me.
Right.
It was a good experience. But the whole time I was doing it, I was like, this is not for me.
Really?
This is not for me. I'm destined to do something else here.
Was it the commute or was it?
No, it wasn't the commute. It was more like, do you believe in commercials and advertising? I mean, I know we're all kind of in that, but it was, I guess I believe in TV commercials to a certain extent. But I was selling, like, if you're watching a YouTube clip and you get that video halfway through,
Yeah.
I was behind that.
All right.
Sweet.
Yeah, and it was just years of just selling the same 30-second pre-roll. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I hate this.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a good lifestyle. It was, it comes with its perks. You're in New York City and you're doing sales, but I truly believe, you get to a certain age when you're like, I got to start doing something that is meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it.
You were
you
some
thought-
big stuff, though. MTV, Funny or Die, Daily Mail, Elite Daily. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
good.
I worked for some of the best and companies out there, but the whole time I was doing it, there was always that little thing that was just like, you got to get out of here.
Gotta get out, yeah.
Got to get out.
Like I'm that guy that delivers frustration
Yeah.
30
Right.
seconds
I
in.
got stuck there today. I hope it has that 5-second countdown that I could just click it and go back to the video.
Yeah, you're trying to skip ad, and I was trying to
Yeah.
skip my life a little bit. Yeah.
So probably out of college, you were probably psyched though in the beginning, I imagine. I mean, were you into advertising, and is that what you wanted to get into, marketing?
No, I had no idea. I
Yeah.
graduated from Penn State. I had a public relations major.
Right.
No idea what I wanted to do. Couldn't find a job with a PR company.
Right.
And I had a friend who said to me, my friend works at MTV. You should interview with her. And I was like, I'll take anything at this point. And
Right.
it was MTV. It was like the heyday of Total Request Live, TRL. And I was
Nice.
like, I got the job. And I kind of fell backwards into that.
Right.
Great place to land. It was still kind of like a college atmosphere. It was fun. But I was never psyched about it. It was a job that turned into, I did it for 12 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I've never heard this before. Well, maybe I have, but I love the way you phrase it. You said you were on purpose fired from your full-time job in office.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how'd you pull that off?
The best thing that happened to me is the last job I had was working from home. I had just finished up my first flip of a house. I got this job. It allowed me to work from home, commute into the city weekly, but it also allowed me to entrench myself in the real estate world.
Right.
So I was there almost 2 years. The first year I was really doing that job, and then the last year I saw the writing on the wall. I wasn't selling because it was a really tough sell to begin with. And then I really lost all passion for it. So then I was like, I know that this is going to lead into real estate.
Right.
This is going to lead into being a realtor and help and growing the Mason Tally Group, which we can talk about.
Yeah.
And so for a year I was doing it, but I was like, I wasn't doing it. You know?
Right.
I was trying to sell, and if I sold, it was great. If I didn't, and then every time I was like, I think I'm going to get fired. Like, I was like, because I believe like in order to succeed in these things, you have to like everyone who succeeds the most in their life. I feel like they had that moment where their back was against the wall and they were fired and they're down on their luck, and then they like turned it around. And I was like, I need that moment. I need to get fired, but I didn't have the balls to like quit.
Yeah.
Right.
So and every time I was getting close, like I'd sell something. Like,
Right.
damn it, I just sold something, which is good.
Yeah.
But then I would keep going, and
Yeah.
eventually they were like, Jordan, we got to part ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it does happen, man. The same thing happened to me. Is I was working for a business manager, which is basically like an accountant in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get a law practice started. And I remember like running down, like, so I'm on like, we're in the city, 39 floors up. I'd have to make a call for work. I'd take the elevator down, run outside on Park Avenue, stand outside on the street trying to, make a call like I'm going to, an attorney.
Yep.
And finally I'm just like, this is insane. Like you can't start a practice like half.
You're living two
half
lives.
it. Right,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, it's a double
So you
life.
got to like take the leap. So the flip you mentioned, is that the property in Weehawken? Was that your first project?
Yeah, me and my buddy Matt, we had always talked about. He's a very handy guy. He's a pilot, but he also like loves building, and he's got like this type of guy who has like the tool shed, and he's constantly woodworking on something. We had always talked about flipping a house. We found this one. We were living in Hoboken at the time. It was a hurricane destroyed house. We bought it, knocked it to the ground, and built a big 2-family building.
That's
essentially,
awesome.
went through all the heartaches that come with flipping a house, and this is the first one. It's in a flood zone. It's in Weehawken. It's views of the city. It's like if there was
It's a complete demo too.
complete
That's-
demo.
yeah, that's-
We didn't know we were getting ourselves into.
Right.
It was like, oh, you need to hire an engineer. Oh, you need an architect.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to put 50 pilings in that cost $30,000. Like we didn't know. We had
Yeah.
never done this. We
So-
bought it. We bought it for like $100,000, and we put $600,000 of work
Wow.
into it, which is not
Yeah.
the route we recommend to anyone now that
Right.
I know a little bit.
Yeah.
But we loved it. I loved it, and we're still involved, and I just knew I did a better calling in life.
Prior to that, were you reading up on flipping homes, or was this just like you guys were like, oh, we should just do this? And
We totally were like, let's just do this. We were looking. We were
that's
looking on Zillow.
Yeah.
This one came on the market it was on the market for an hour. I went
Right.
to see it. We lived down the block.
Is that how you
We
found
bought
it?
it on the spot.
You found it on Zillow?
Yeah.
This property? That's
Yeah, it
funny.
was listed for an hour, and we just we're gonna do this now.
All right.
So this was 2013.
2013, we bought it. Yeah,
Okay.
It took us a year and a half to flip it. Another thing I don't recommend: we flipped it so well, put so much money into it that we actually moved into it. So we didn't even sell it immediately. Like he moved upstairs with his wife, I moved downstairs with my wife. Because like halfway through, we're like, man, we like this. This
Yeah.
is a nice spot.
Yeah.
So we lived there,
Yeah.
and then we sold it
That's cool.
last year actually.
That happens. That's sort of the Valerio method, right?
Yeah.
Except we know a guy who was doing that, but he'd by necessity wind up he'd make one bedroom nice while he's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
rehabbing the house, so he had a place to crash.
Of course.
Yeah.
And he does it right, so he fell in love with the property as
That's
well.
exactly what happened to us.
Yeah.
Did a little too right.
So how long did you guys stay there?
We were there for 2 years,
Right.
and then he had a son. I had a son. We both have dogs, and it was just like we got
Right.
suburbs are calling, so we moved out.
That's
Sold
cool.
it last year.
Nice.
Speaking of kids, you said you're expecting 2 more, right?
Yeah, 2 more twins on the way. I have a 15-month-old Chase, who's the best kid in the entire world, and then we are expecting 2 more coming in March. So
Nice.
2 months until all havoc
Right.
comes.
Totally.
We'll have 3 kids under the age of 2.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's gonna be
I had
fun.
a client that had twins, and he sort of summed it up best. He's like, if you have twins first, he's like, ignorance is bliss. Like, you don't know anything. But he's like, once you had, I think he was similar, had like a 15-month-ish, and then you add 2 more into the mix. It's wild.
I'm happy to have the experience going into it because I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I have one friend who has twins as well. That hit him hit him hard. He's still recovering. They're 2 years old, but
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
All right, so around this time of you're living in the house in Weehawken,
Yep.
now you've got the bug for real estate. Are you
Yep.
you guys looking for properties together? Are you doing it on your own? How's that
We
going?
were looking for properties. I started getting into it pretty deep, and I was doing a lot of research. I came across what I learned about myself is I liked flipping houses, but the process of flipping a house is a beast, and it takes a certain person to, it's not as easy as what you see in HGTV. You're
Right.
not just buying a house, and next thing you know, you're doing the finishes and selling it. Like I learned in that year and a half, like everything is tedious. Dealing with towns is tedious, and
Yeah.
you got to be of the right mindset.
Right.
And that's kind of when I found wholesaling,
Right.
where it's essentially you're flipping houses, but you don't have to do the work.
Yep.
I have a sales business background. I wanted to build a company that was related to real estate, but could avoid maybe the picking out backsplash and
Right.
you know what
Yeah.
decor. Like, it's not all that wasn't all for me, but the business side of things was for me. So
Right.
I discovered wholesales along the way, and I just started. Matt and I started this company together, and we
Okay.
started advertising and just trying to go that route.
So that's Buddies Buying Houses.
Yeah, that was Buddies Buying Houses, where we just really started to market all over New Jersey, trying to find people who wanted to sell their home.
Right.
Didn't particularly want to go the realtor route because, you know, there were hoarders and their house was disgusting, or they just inherited the house and
Right.
they didn't want to show it. And it's a lot of reasons why people will type into their browser, buy my house for cash as is.
Right.
So marketing towards those people,
Gotcha.
talking with them, explaining to them the situation of you're going to buy your house, or we're going to find somebody to buy your house, and it's going to be completely off market, and it's an easier process. That to me, it's my background is sales, you
Right.
know, and business. So everything is a sale. So getting in their living room and explaining the process and selling them on working with the company.
Right.
I like that aspect of like contracts and selling the contracts and
Right.
lawyers, and like I could deal with all that stuff.
Yep.
But not have to actually flip the house with something
That
that
is pretty cool.
appealed to me. Yeah.
Right. So how quickly did you get wholesale business going when you guys started this?
The first deal came to us pretty quickly, and it was terrifying. It was an ex-Marine. He was selling his house in Orange, New Jersey. And I don't know how familiar you are with wholesaling, if you've had any wholesalers on here
Sure.
before. You basically get a house under contract. They tell you you're supposed to tell these people you're going to buy their house, and
Right.
then you just find a buyer.
Right.
When you do that, you give yourself 30 days to find a buyer, and if you don't, you're like in this weird zone of, I'm going to let this person down, and I have
Right.
a contract, and maybe they could sue me.
Yeah.
And this guy was an ex-Marine, and I
May
was like,
find you.
He knows
He's
where I
gonna
live.
find-
yeah, yeah.
and he was
I
like,
used my home address
Yeah.
for our business address.
Right.
Damn it.
I only say the ex-Marine thing because he was like, he was angry
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
the time, and I know he was very smart, and he was like reading every line of the contract, and he
Right.
was like, if you don't close on this thing, and I was just feeling the pressure, and I was like
Yeah.
up all night. I'm like, there's got to be a better way. So that's when I started to figure out how to change the business to make it a little bit more consumer friendly and not
Right.
lie to people and actually do it the right way and help
Right.
these people sell their houses.
So what are some of those changes you made?
Just being honest with them. I think that you have to go in and say, I'm going to try to buy your house. If not, I know a lot of people in New Jersey. You guys told me you get my emails, you know.
Right.
I'm going to email to my people and help you market the property. I know you want to do this off market and you don't want to be having open houses and all that. Let me just bring it to some buyers.
Right.
I'm probably not going to buy it, but I will get you the money you want.
Right.
And I sleep better knowing, because I'm in that case, I'm actually helping them out.
Yeah.
And they're not like,
That's
all right,
true.
Jordan, February 28th is 3 weeks away. If you don't close, like, what's now? And then you lose sleep. And it
Yeah.
wasn't, you know.
Well, it's tough because the same way you said everything's not like it is on HGTV, it's
Right.
also not like it is in every real estate course out there. So you have a lot of people with no experience get into they're like, all right, somehow they got sold a bill of goods that like, I need to get into wholesaling because I have no money to do anything else.
Yeah.
And that's how I'll build up my business and then become a flipper eventually. Like it's this trajectory of here's how you do it.
Right.
And you got a bunch of people that get in trying to wholesale stuff and they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And then they do what you're saying is like let people down because they have no buyers lined
Exactly.
up. They have no way to market a property. They probably don't know anything about the actual values of
No.
anything, right? And now they're left wasting this person's time, and they have no resources to buy it if they wanted to.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, they tell you that wholesaling is like step number one
Right.
on this trajectory. You wholesale because you don't have money, and then you become a flipper yourself when you realize that the profits are bigger. Then you become a buy and holder. And, you know,
Right,
it's,
right,
just,
right.
it's just this path that's laid out for you.
Yeah.
And there's a million gurus who will sell you this bag.
Right.
But in reality, my company has been successful because luckily I had the money to invest in it, right?
Right.
And do it the right way and actually have legit contracts and have
Right.
legit advertising and marketing and build the brand. Where, like you said, a lot of people are just they get a house under contract, they have
Just
zero
wing it.
buyers,
Right.
and now they've built and they've told the people they're going to buy the house,
Right.
and they can't.
Yeah.
And then they're stuck, and everybody's upset.
Right.
That's why a lot of the marketing we do is, hey, you've done all the work, let us help you close the deal because we can do that for you.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, I started talking with, going into hundreds of houses over the last 2 years. I started realizing that maybe there's another market here. And then the realtor thing kind of happened because I was
Right.
like, some people thought they were scared of realtors for whatever reason. And they thought they shouldn't show their house or it's too dirty or and I don't want to deal with the town.
Right.
But I'd walk in and their house would be beautiful. And I was like, now it's another missed opportunity. It's not like if I was a realtor, I could easily say to them,
Why
let's
don't we
just
list it?
list this thing
Right.
because as an investor bringing in other investors,
Yep.
they're not gonna lowball you, but for it to make financial sense for them,
Right.
they're gonna give you a low offer, just
Right.
how it's
Yeah.
gonna be. But you can make $100,000 more just by listing it. It's not a big deal.
So if you get your foot in the door with, say, this ex-marine, and you walked in and the house was beautiful inside, well, now you would have both options to say, hey, I could wholesale it and get someone to buy it, or if you wanted to, we could do this the traditional route and list it, and I'll be your realtor.
Yeah, or I could refer it out, right? Just
Okay.
the fact that you have your real estate license, I don't have to do it, but
Yeah.
I can send it to, if it's a house, say down here, in, more southern Jersey or
Right.
down the shore.
Yeah.
I can give it to you if you're a realtor, and you give me 25%. I don't have to do anything,
Right.
Yeah.
but I didn't walk away from money.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I could have.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that's
smart.
sweet.
Yeah, that's smart.
All right, so then Mason Tally, was that kind of your marketing outlet for, so Buddy's Buying Houses, you're trying to find inventory and
Right.
sellers,
Right,
and then is
consumer
Mason
facing.
Tally basically your way to market those properties to
To
potential
the investors.
buyers,
Yeah.
investors,
Buddy's
right.
Buying Houses is like, if there's ever going to be billboards or whatever marketing you see online, that's
Yep.
for people who are trying to sell their house.
Right.
The Mason Tally Group is for people who are looking to find houses to flip.
Yep. So you have the same partner in Mason Tally? Or you do-
Matt does a little bit with me now, but not so much. He's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the reserves as well, so he lives down the shore. He's got a
Right.
great life. What was a hobby at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
like turned into like my next full-time job.
Right.
And for him, he was really just like, I want to flip one or two houses because I've got a great life with
Gotcha.
the
Yeah.
flying planes.
Right.
But I was like, Matt, we've got 30 appointments this week. And he's like, I didn't sign up for 30
Yeah,
appointments
yeah,
this
yeah,
week.
man.
I don't want to go to these houses and talk to these people.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you have more partners now, or is it?
I've built out a lot of different partners in different areas. We're in Monmouth County, Union County, Essex County, just launched Bergen County. And in each market, I have different on-the-ground partners who are the ones going into the houses.
Okay.
So it's less me going in, but more running the back-end business side of things.
And are you able to stay disciplined, not to get into flipping again? Like, are you fixed in, I'm wholesaling, or does something come across your desk occasionally? You're like, wow, man, I should flip this one.
I think having now done this for 2 years, the whole time I was saying to myself, I do want to flip one house a year.
Yeah.
I definitely want to do that just to keep like doing it.
Right.
And only recently have I said, you know what? I don't even really want to do that.
Right.
I've kind of found my niche. 'Cause you just open a can of worms with it.
Yeah.
You got it. People think it's easy, but it becomes
Right.
all consuming, and then you're there every single day. Between the wholesaling stuff and my focus, honestly, like I've gotten that to a place where it's kind of running itself with my partners, and I've got like an admin. My focus, I'm on the Michelle Pice group.
Right.
I want to become a top realtor in my area.
Right.
I want to grow that side of the business. I truly enjoy that. Michelle's team is unbelievable. We're the #1 team in Union County. So I don't need to flip houses. The wholesaling thing is kind of running itself, and now my focus has been like, how can I grow the realtor side of thing and become more of like a community, face and representative.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So how'd you land at Signature after getting your license and everything?
Yeah, so I was going to a lot of meetings. If you get yourself into this community, that's how I met you guys. Just networking constantly. One of my favorite groups by far is NJRESN.
Right.
They have a chapter in Garwood and Tinton Falls and Totowa now and a couple others. It's run by John Steingraber. He is the husband to Michelle, who's the broker at Signature Realty.
Right.
John has become a mentor to me and an inspiration, and just following him and seeing Signature there, I was like, if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to go with Signature. It's
Right.
just they're down to earth, they're young, they're up to speed when they're marketing, they've got an investor mindset. There's 100
Yep.
agents, of which a lot of them are investors as well.
Right.
So it's just a natural fit for me. I was in that investment community dealing with flippers constantly, and it was natural. And I joined there, and I was doing it for a few months, and then hustling as a realtor and doing open houses every single weekend, even though you don't have to.
Right.
And that's how I kind of linked up with Michelle and her team.
That's cool.
Yeah, their Signature Realty is they're all over Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I saw your company party last week or 2 weeks ago
Yep.
on multiple accounts.
Right.
You could tell that the culture's there as a company.
I mean, that's what it is. There's so many of these. You said you had a lot of realtors who are in here. There's a lot of these agencies. They're old, right? It's just they,
Yeah.
you know who I'm talking about. They put a for sale sign out and they're done, and they're wearing a suit and tie or probably khakis and a blue sport jacket.
Yeah.
Like we're we try to be younger and more
Right.
modern. Everything we do is social media first, as you see us everywhere. Everything is
Stands out.
technology first. Michelle is a master marketer. We bring a lot to the table that's what I mean. A realtor can be that, the old school method, or it can be fun and like we're on social media and we're going to
Right.
events and we're helping you sell your house for top dollar because everyone in New Jersey sees us.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Right. That is cool.
Yeah.
So do you have some listings right now that you want to talk about?
No, the only one, so I live in Cranford now.
Right.
So that's my goal right now is to kind of take over that town.
That's cool. That's a good
I've got a
town.
listing there right now. Had 2 open houses this last weekend, which
Nice.
was just a madhouse. For whatever
Right.
reason, people want to get into Cranford so badly. It was I think I had 100 people, in the house over
Right.
the course of 2 hours.
What exit is that on the Parkway?
137.
137.
Yep.
All right.
Cranford's it's a nice downtown, right?
Beautiful downtown.
Quick
Voted number
commute.
1 downtown in New Jersey.
Oh, was it?
Makes
Yeah.
no sense because
I've popped
into
into
Hoboken or Morristown.
Nah, but it's still a quick commute to the city, right? How long's the train ride from there to?
40 minutes.
That's not
Switch
bad.
over in Newark.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
bad.
easy. That's why
a
it's
quick
mostly people who go this path work in New York, move
Yep.
to Hoboken, Jersey City,
That's
have
funny.
have a kid, go
Right.
to Cranford, Westfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, it expands.
Those are
out.
nice areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. All right, what do you got?
Yeah, so the MulletCast, right? So we
Yep.
want to know what's on the back end. So real estate aside,
Yep.
wholesaling aside. I know family's important to you. What do you do? What do you do for fun? What's the mullet?
I do nothing for fun these days. I have no option.
You have two.
For
You have
fun.
2 months. To
You gotta, like,
enjoy
Oh
it.
my god.
Twins birthing classes.
Well, I have a
and-
15-month-old, so our
Right.
weekends are run by him. So he is the fun of the house.
Okay.
What's
two-
that guy get into? What's his? What's he like to do?
He just runs into walls.
All right, sweet.
There we go.
He's got a little basketball hoop that he dunks on a lot.
Nice.
It's
Oh, that's
great.
cool.
Training him. He better be either a musician or athlete.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got 3 shots at fame out of these kids. That's, one of them has to do something.
All right.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, honestly, between switching careers, moving last year, having a young kid, having 2 kids on the way, my life has been. It's kind of boring, but my 7 days a week, I'm doing real estate in one
Right.
regard or the other. Up until Chase was born, we were traveling people
Yeah.
and big sports people. My wife teaches tennis in the Bronx, so
Nice.
we're very active people.
Oh, wow.
One day we'll get back to
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So if a lot of it's family and real estate, what keeps you focused personally?
Yeah, I mean, keeping my family alive. I just switched careers, right? So
Yeah.
for the first time in my life, there's no W-2 job
Right.
paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. It's
Yeah.
like you got to hustle
Yeah.
I just happened to move into Cranford, which is not the cheapest of places, so I got to pay my mortgage,
right.
and I got to pay for daycare, and then 2 more, and we got an au pair coming to live with us, and gotta
Yeah.
pay her, and it's a lot of. The motivation is just to keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good though. It's good motivation for the first time. It's like when you're working these jobs where you don't really love what you're doing and you're just there for the paycheck.
Yeah.
That's draining on you. Even
Yeah.
if you get to leave it all behind at 5:00 every single night and not think about it, it's
Yeah.
draining. Like the one thing I don't miss is the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
I work Saturday and Sunday, and like I'm ready for Monday to happen because
Right.
that means we're gonna make some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's for the first time in my life. I'm like, all right, Monday, let's go. It's-
Sunday scaries. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I see that all the time too.
I had that, man. I remember
The Monday
like,
blues.
Oh my
yeah.
I
god.
remember walking up to a job, like being at the door, like, oh my god, like I just don't want to go in here.
No, I
It gets
remember
hard.
being in work on a Monday, probably being hungover because I was young.
Yeah.
And like sitting in the bathroom for like 30 minutes and just
Right.
being like, I can't go back out there. Like I just can't do this.
Yeah. Don't send me out there.
Yeah, don't say please. Yeah.
Which is interesting because kind of like going back to what you said about HGTV is like there is this image that like real estate's this very like happy, like casual, like almost like a part-time lifestyle, but it's hard work, man. And it is 7 days a week
Yeah.
because you're working like the weekends,
Yep.
evenings when your clients are out of work, so when they want to talk to you. It's a grind for sure.
It is a grind. I will say it is more cutthroat than I ever realized.
Right.
Especially with social media. We're live on Facebook Live now. People
Mm.
are seeing we're doing this. Every realtor's got an Instagram page,
there's
has
like-
a Facebook page.
There's 5 realtors trashing you right now. It's
probably.
crazy.
Right? But that's what
This guy sucks.
probably that guy's an asshole. No, it's you have to stay on top of it. You have to show you're active constantly. You have to always be posting. You guys noted it's not
That's
become
the
a
new
realtor.
mantra, man. ABP, always be posting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, a lot of people think you become a realtor, you sell 5 houses a year, and you're living a good life.
Right.
How are you going to get those 5 houses?
Yeah.
A lot goes into it. Yeah.
Oh, I know. You gotta be out there.
Yeah.
all
So,
day.
what do you see so far in 2019 in terms of like the wholesaling market and investor market in general in Jersey? Like, what's
Jersey's still hot.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's February. We've got no less than 10 deals working right now.
Right.
We've got probably 5 closings in February.
nice?
Everyone keeps saying that the market's going to turn
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be, save your cash now so when it does turn you can buy. But
Yeah.
I've seen, as from an investor side, I've seen no signs of it.
Right.
People are, the real estate life and this investing life, people are dying to get into it. There's no shortage, and I'm sure you see it in the mortgage side. There's
Yeah.
no shortage of people who want to buy a house, flip a house,
Oh, totally.
rent a house,
Right.
get involved. Everybody wants to quit their 9-to-5 job to be involved in the real estate world.
And there's a lot of money out there to do it. Money's available.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money available, a lot of hard
Yeah.
money lenders and private lenders who have came kind of out of nowhere. Even I've only been doing this for a little over 2 years, and I've seen just like
I'm sure you hear
the
new
growth
ones
chart
every
has been-
day. Yeah.
every day there's someone new who's got money they want to lend.
So do you encounter like a lot of new investors then?
Oh yeah,
Every deal pops up. You got new people coming out of the woodwork.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're doing.
Right.
I was gonna say,
they-
yeah, are they getting educated?
I
Or
don't even know.
You don't know.
I can't. I'm not going to knock him because I was the guy who did that, right?
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the only way to do this is to get involved.
Yeah.
I would say you got to get involved. You got to if you're truly passionate about it, you got to go to these networking events because they're going to be what inspires you, what motivates you, and what teaches you what not to do.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who are doing this who are, they think they're going to flip a house, and
They watch too much TV.
they watch too much TV, and then they can't sell it or they
Right.
lose money, and But
Yeah.
it comes and goes. Even in just my 2 years, like I've seen a wave of people come in,
Right.
and then the wave went out, and now new people are in. Especially with the new year,
Right.
spring is coming. People are gonna want to flip, and
Yeah, and unfortunately, like in any business, you have to make mistakes along the way. Otherwise, like you encountered all these things in Weehawk, and that
yeah,
when you go onto your second deal, now you know questions to ask, right?
oh yeah.
Things you never would have even thought about.
I forgot more than I
Right.
than I ever knew in my life.
Right.
I mean, that was a few years ago, but I remember
Yeah.
being in it and just being like, wow,
Wow,
I had
what do we do?
I-
Right.
Yeah, what do you do? And people don't realize dealing with towns and permits and
Yeah.
inspections
Yeah.
and so many things that can go wrong or
Right.
set you back hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Plus a post Sandy flood zone property is
Yeah.
That out
That-
of, that out
that
of
alone-
nowhere needed 50
Yeah.
foot pilings in the ground. That's
Yeah.
not cheap in Weehawken.
Which is weird, is I can't even picture the area of Weehawken where that would have been an issue, but
Right outside the Lincoln Tunnel entrance.
Yeah,
like the
down-
helix.
yeah.
Like right there.
all
right
that
down.
flooded. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
It still floods over there, right?
They've got a pretty good handle on it
Yeah.
now. They've put a lot of good
yeah,
things in place to take care of it. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
So Mason Tally, we were talking about, we're on their mailing list.
Yep.
Is that the main target for that? Is investors can find available properties pretty much throughout Jersey, right?
pretty much throughout Jersey, yeah.
Right.
In those counties I mentioned before, mostly investors. Yeah, we're just the whole goal is to find people who want to sell their home fast and find investors who want to buy homes fast.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy, in theory, practice, but then it even that people teach you that wholesaling is the easiest way to do this, but there's a lot that goes into it.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Showing
true.
houses and dealing with buyers who don't know what they're doing or dealing with buyers who do know what they're doing, and then
Right.
those are the tough ones,
Right.
Constant, you got to be a negotiator.
You gotta be on them. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I encounter that a lot with wholesalers coming in, and sometimes you have to like undo weird things that were done in the process. You
Oh,
know, so people do get wacky ideas of how to do deals, and then it's, I don't know where they learn some of the stuff.
I was gonna say
They
there's a
do,
lot
yeah.
of bad content
Right.
out there. You could YouTube,
Well, I
how to
told-
flip a house or how to wholesale a house, and there's
Yeah.
endless content.
Everybody's a guru right now.
Yeah.
Everybody. I try to stay away from that because I see it. If you go on Facebook every day, there's somebody who's got a new mastermind they want you to sign up for.
Yeah.
I'm living it.
Yeah.
I can give you my knowledge if you want to work together, but
Right.
it's everybody.
Is there any anyone out there that you would suggest is worth listening to if you were interested in getting into the market?
I would say go to NJRESN.
Okay.
Those events are
I went to the Tin Falls one. That was a blast.
it's 4 hours one Wednesday, depending on where you are,
Right.
every single month. It's 4 hours of motivation and education. I
Yeah.
mean, I leave that 10 o'clock on that Wednesday being like, I'm gonna go crush the world tomorrow. I gotta get my LLC together. I gotta get my spreadsheets together. I gotta get my list like. You learn. And, I mean, that's important. There's a lot of networking events that are like go stand at a bar and maybe you'll talk to 3 people and give a business card that you designed that looks fantastic, and like that's what you're doing. Yeah, and then you leave.
Right.
But these, I mean, find a program that actually teaches you what to do, and you know, if you're going to buy and hold, you got to learn about cap rates, and you got to learn about expenses and NOI and all these different things. You got to know the lingo and know the numbers.
Right.
You can't just buy a home and then say, I hope they pay me.
Right.
How do you get paid? You got to learn all these things.
Yeah, and the other benefit of those events are just the other people you meet there. Like, 'cause I've met a lot of people, you know, that are doing similar things or doing what you want to do, and you can learn from their, you know, successes and failures, which is cool.
I'm here because I met you guys there.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything you want to wrap up the for 2019? Rolling into it.
No, I mean, if you are looking to buy or sell a house, I can help you from the realtor side of things. If you want to learn more about wholesaling, I can help you there. You know, I'm only 2 years into this, so I'm still learning every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day, I'm trying to better myself. 2019 is about growth for me, and taking care of
Familia.
5 living humans and 2 dogs.
Yeah, for the love of God, man, this guy's got a 15-month-old and twins on the way.
Give me
You're like,
business.
Hook them up. I mean, have you seen, like, with the number of people getting into wholesaling, when you're contacting people that they've already been contacted by multiple people? Like, are there so many people out there, like, looking for properties that, or do you still come across, like, where you're the first person in the door?
I guess we pride ourselves, number one, I don't know if you know what daisy chaining is, but there's a lot of we'll call them wholesalers who will get my email that you guys got this morning, will forward it to their group of buyers, which are probably on my list anyway.
Right.
They'll add their $10,000 on top of it. Just for forwarding an email, they're either 5 or 10.
Right.
And that's what they call wholesaling.
Right.
Like, we pride ourselves on actually meeting with the sellers of these houses. Like, we're getting them under contract, or we are direct to the person who's getting them under contract who just couldn't find a buyer and needs our help.
Right.
Nothing is funnier to me than when somebody tries to sell me my own deal back to me for $20K more.
Awesome. Right.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. It's like,
How many times does that happen?
More than you can imagine.
Really?
Yeah. They don't realize, like, you didn't this morning. You actually didn't even realize that email.
I read those emails like every time I get them.
Yeah.
Like, there's a new property. That's nice.
fun.
I don't put my, you know, I walk a fine line with the realtor stuff and the wholesale stuff. So
I never knew.
I keep it separate. So my face and my name isn't on any of that stuff. But people will get that email. McJordan, I know you're in Union County. Do you want this house?
That's really funny. Do you, like, extend the negotiations for a while,
Just
like
to keep
string
it
them
going?
along? Yeah, like practice.
I don't even.
It's funny because
I don't even reply at this point.
Mason Talley does have that very, like, I don't even know what the right word is. Very distinguished, like, name. You know?
Yeah, it does.
It sounds like this real estate group that's been around since the late 1800s. You know, like Mason Talley.
Yeah.
It's actually just the combination of 3 dog names.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Yeah, but it does sound that.
that's sweet. Yeah, it's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, Jordan, thank you for coming in.
Of course.
We
Thank you very
appreciate
Thank you
much.
guys
it.
for having me. This is great.
You
Congratulations on the twins too. It's
Exactly.
awesome.
Good luck, man. You look pretty cool, calm, and collected here on the.
Have me back
the
next
E.
year. We'll see how I look. I'll be all disheveled. And a lot more facial hair.
Yeah.
That's right, totally. All right, cool. Check out Jordan everywhere online. You can see MasonTallyGroup.com, on Instagram, Joho Realtor, Joho Realtor.
That's right.
On Facebook at Joho Realtor. Instagram for Mason Talley is Mason Talley Group, and also on Facebook at Mason Talley Group. And don't forget the Michelle Pais Group at Signature Realty NJ.
Correct.
I'm Evan Baumer. You can find me on Instagram at Evan Baumer.
Mike Mercier. You can find me at mortgagiguy_Mike. Thank you so much. This was
Thank
fun.
you guys.
Thanks, Jordan.
Appreciate it.